Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is week 2 recap of the Rebuild Era photoshoot prep series, where I am sharing with you week by week how my prep is going, especially as a first-time mom and being postpartum and navigating mom world while figuring out how to get into the best version of me and get into shape again. Now, I want to go over week 2, and week 2, oh my God, was something. And I want to share this, and I'm going to be completely transparent, and I don't want it to come out as I am complaining, because I know some people might assume that is a lot of complaining, but I think it's also important for me to share exactly how things are going, because this is something that everybody goes through. I know my clients go through it as well. And even though I am a coach and I understand how weight loss works, when I am on a fat loss phase, sometimes I can't think rationally and I get into my emotions. So let's talk about week 2. So week 2 was kind of a week that I want to say the theme was trying to catch up. I was trying to catch up with my workouts, trying to catch up with my steps. I felt like I was playing catch up all week. The only thing, and I want to say the best thing, is that I was able to keep my nutrition controlled during this time, because nutrition is always going to be key, and that was the only thing that I was able to control, because like I said, week was super busy. I got super booked with work, which I am so grateful for. I had closed my coaching for a few weeks. I was not bringing on any people just because I was trying to manage mom life and also like take care of my current clients that I have. Finally, things started to pick up, and that was like another little adjustment that I had to deal with. But I want to remind you that life doesn't stop. So when you are on a health and fitness journey, you're on a weight loss journey, life doesn't stop. Things come up, and that is okay too. So with this week, we'll just say I got 3 workouts in. I do want to let you know that I don't count my workouts from Monday through Sunday. My workout training block or my workout week, I like to count it from Tuesday to Tuesday, just because I like to use my weekend as the days that I can go get some workouts in. We'll say I got 3 workouts in this last week. My sleep was horrible. Devin decided to kind of switch up the sleeping schedule. Let's just say I was extremely tired, which caused quite a bit with my results. And what I mean by that is because my sleep was impacted and my stress level was a lot higher due to just being a lot more busier with work, my scale really, like the number on the scale didn't really budge. And I started to wonder, like, what am I doing wrong? But I do have to stop for a moment and remind myself, like, the number on the scale does not define my hard work. And I know that's something that we all struggle with, where when we are in a fat loss phase, like, we're like, I am doing everything I need to do. I need something to show me that I am working hard, and we go based on the scale, right? But weight loss is different. Weight loss, our body is not like Amazon where you can order something and you get it delivered within the next day or 2 days. Our bodies take a little while, and I should know this by now. Usually the body takes anywhere between 10 to 14 days to start changing up when it comes to weight loss, for it to know that you're in a calorie deficit and you can start dropping a pound. So it does take 10 to 14 days, okay? It's not something that you eat perfect one day and you'll see the scale come down. So I have my check-in here so I can go over it. So I got 3 workouts in. I did my best with my steps. So before I talk about the weight, let's talk about something with my steps. So I started doing this thing where I do kind of like rollover steps. I don't know if you ever heard of before when cell phone companies used to be by the minute. They used to have rollover minutes. So if you didn't finish all your minutes, they would roll over to the next day or the next month. So what I noticed is there's some days where I can go for an extra long walk. There's some days where I get more steps in my day. Instead of focusing on just getting 10K steps every day, on days where I could go for that extra long walk, or I was able to get more steps in my day, I just got those extra steps in. So that way, if there was a day where I couldn't even make it to 10K and I only got 8,000 steps, even with my walking pad, then I would let that roll over, that where I'm like, okay, I got 3 days where I got 2 extra 2K. So then that makes it up. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's one way I started doing it, just to help me deal with a little bit of the stress, because I don't like feeling like I am falling behind, and I want to make sure that I am staying on top of things. We just talked about the steps, what I was doing, how I was playing catch up, and my stress level was very high, and I was super exhausted because, like I mentioned, Devin switched up his nighttime routine, so I was waking up a lot sooner. There was just like a lot of stuff. I felt very overwhelmed, but I was just exhausted, and that meant like some days I had to take little naps where I could. Now, when it came to weight loss, I honestly didn't even drop a full pound. And was I discouraged? Yeah, I was pretty discouraged. I was pretty bummed out. Like, I'm like, what? Like, I don't get it. But if you remember from my last summary, I got down to 138.8. And then this week, I only got down to 138.6. Inches didn't drop, nothing dropped. My body right now is not gonna look any different until I lose closer to 15 pounds, which I'm okay with. I understand that. Is it frustrating? Yeah, but it is what it is. So I only lost 0.2 ounces from last week to this week. Now, this is where, you know, I still check in with my coach. I let her know how things are going. I let her know how my sleep was off. I was waking up more than once at night and I was getting less sleep. I also let her know where my stress levels were, because those things are important. I feel like sometimes we assume like these little things are not going to impact our weight loss, but it does. So I was telling her how I was super stressed. I was super sore. I forgot to mention that. I felt like I got hit by a bus. So I felt like I wasn't recovering as fast enough. And that's because I was not getting good sleep. So when I told her that, and obviously I complained a little bit, I was like, look, I don't understand why the scale's not coming down. I feel like I'm following everything to the T. And I'm still the type of person that on my check-in, when she asked like, how do I follow the meal plan? Was it perfect? I never put perfect. I put that's good, just because even if I would have followed it perfect, I don't like that whole like perfect mentality of it, because I'm like, maybe there could have been a little mess up, and that's okay. Now, I did have an off-plan meal. What did I have? I don't remember at this point. Wow, I don't remember. I'm assuming my husband and I just went out for breakfast. That's probably it. We went out for breakfast. We went out for breakfast twice. I navigated that. So what that means is I order a veggie omelet. I asked for egg whites, not because whole eggs are bad, but because it cuts down the fats. I asked for no cheese, and I just get toast. I always like toast, and I asked for dry toast, so they don't add any butter to it. Now, as far as like what my coach responded, obviously, you know, she's the one seeing from the outside where her emotions are not impacted like the way my emotions are impacted, which is the benefit of having a coach, okay? Because it is very normal. And let me tell you, I had these thoughts of being like, what's the whole point? What is the point of me being good on my nutrition and my weight's not coming down? And for whatever reason, I just wanted to eat more food because I felt like there was no point of me sticking to it because the weight's not coming down, which is a really dumb mentality, and we all go through it. And this is why I said in this video, don't take it as I'm complaining. I am just sharing exactly everything that I'm going through. So when I got my check-in back, my coach pretty much clarified why the number has not budged down and reminded me that I'm doing everything that I could to help me achieve my goal. I just have to be a little bit more patient, and I have to figure out how to get a little bit more sleep. So this is where my husband and I started to talk about how can we both help each other out, where he has some nights where he can get a little bit more sleep, and I have some nights where I could get a little bit more sleep. So we decided that there's gonna be days where he's gonna be taking over the nighttime feed. So normally Devin only wakes up like once or twice at nighttime, but usually it's like once at the 2 a.m., 3 a.m. mark, and that really definitely makes a huge impact. So there's gonna be days where he's gonna take over that so I can sleep through, and then when Devin wakes up either at 4 a.m., 6 a.m., I'll just take over that feed. But there would be days where I would be taking that over so then he could get a good amount of sleep, especially on the days that he goes into the office, because I can't imagine how he does it. It is very hard, but that's how we are at the moment. So I will let you know in week 3 how that worked out and if that impacted my scale. But this is just a quick little summary of how week 2 has gone. Like I mentioned, it was like a catch-up week. I only got 3 workouts. I didn't get my 4 workouts. My steps were kind of lagging, but I figured out how to make up my steps. Nutrition, I followed nutrition, but it was difficult. I definitely had emotional cravings, we'll call it, okay? Because they weren't cravings of like, I need to have this thing. It was just more like, I'm so sad that things are not improving, so I want to eat this. So we'll call them emotional cravings. I hardly dropped any weight. I only lost 0.2 ounces, and that's okay. That's just week 2. We got 10 more weeks to go, okay? So if you are interested in following my journey, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you like this series, go ahead and give me a thumbs up.